further discussions with locals in the area, it turns out the locale for your client's proposed building is an area classified as flame zone. For the purpose of the new bushfire attack level, what recommendations regarding curtain walls will you be making to your building designer with regard to material selection? Get into that one? Did we cover that one?
I don't think we've actually covered that one yet.
Flame zone is FZ, which is pretty high rating. External walls have to be non-combustible materials, masonry, brick, veneer, mud brick, aerated concrete. Minimum thickness 90 millimeters.
We're waiting for.
You will get it from NCC Volume 1 in the
Fire resistance.
fire rating. Yeah, resistance.
But is there actually a table with FZ? Oh, yeah, there is.
If you also go to,
No, there is a table upstairs.
there is it,
Yeah.
the one there. I'm just wondering if it's been Volume 1.
Yeah, the assessment.
Volume 2.
Part A.
That's in, I think it's in specification. Number one, yeah.
If you look in Volume 2, you'll see external walls with an FZ rating. Exposed components and external walls must comply with clauses 9.41, 9.42 of the VLFZ requirements. AS 3959. Must have a the starting type flammability index not more than 5.
Is that in there?
This volume, so
That's where it stays in Volume 2, so it doesn't give you anything really, it just tells you to refer back to Australian Standard 3959.
what section is this?
Number 32. 31, 32. 32. And another point.
It's in volume 1.
Yeah.
Section C, fire resistance, but right down to bottom specifications. And it's specifications, fire resistant construction, got all the tables for the FRLs for
What page is that?
type A, B, and C. 115, first of the tables.
115?
The FRLs, but then hang on a second,
And then you had to explain what a curtain wall was.
yeah. I've also seen a thing to the FR that says that it's always BAL somewhere. You've got the BALs and the type A, B, and C construction, they're all different. Here we go. Type C, fire resisting construction. 127.
I'm not good with this. I know where to look.
And this is fire resistance for the. It's not for the.
32.
No, there's two sections where they go hand in hand.
But this is for the. We're not looking at the flame zone, are we?
No, not yet.
Yeah. So this is only
Try to find it.
how the wall is supposed to be fire resistant, but not the.
G construction, G5. G5. Ancillary construction of bushfire prone areas.
Alright, exposure to flames from fire, in addition to heat, slopes, and attack. That's that.
Same thing.
Law E, annealed. Multitude of them. Mirror. Reflective.
Tempered.
Tempered, yeah.
And the old shower screens with the wire in them.
Yeah, later. Right. Name the Australian standard which relates to timber doors. Google it. You will find it's 2688. Save you a bit of time. Oh, that's the answer, so it's easy enough to find. So what's the point?
It'll be an hour.
Everybody knows how to use Google. Name the Australian standard that relates to timber door sets. Apparently there is an Australian standard that relates to timber door set. You know where the door set is, don't you?
Oh, look.
Is that like the handle?
Yeah, it's a handle. 2689.
Oh, just the next one up.
Name two of the door frame materials and explain whether the installation of these differs in any way from aluminium one. If so, explain how. So a timber door frame?
Window, wood.
Wood.
Metal.
What's the difference between wood and timber?
One you burn and one you...
Wood, relating to the timber.
I wouldn't like
What's the difference between a doctor and a builder? It's not on your question sheet, this.
Piece of paper.
A doctor buries their mistakes, a builder fixes them. Truth?
I can hear
Who doctors or builders? Either. So two door frame materials, explain if they're any different. Well, timber.
Expand and contract it from there.
So timber, you plug and nail or plug and screw to install the section. Another type of door frame?
Steel.
Press steel. If you think about press steel, how do you do that one? You build it into the concrete stand-up panel before the pour. So it's locked in because with the metal press ones, they have the hollow basically with the architrave wrapped around. then you build inside that. With brickwork, you have a special tie that you use to key them in. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and you go back to plugging and screwing. Sketch an aluminium door frame.
48.
Build up residential manual, page 13. And all of them relate back to stand-up concrete panels, right? One. 3 types of keying.
You've already told us.
Spot card, fob, manual,
Yeah. 6 different signs that may appear on a door.
Room number entry exit. Open, close.
Watch out for dog.
Toilet. Fire exit. Storeroom. Emergency exit, toilet, fire door, access, smoke door, a number, a name. Do not enter. 3 different types of door. I showed you that one on the board, didn't I?
Mm. Yeah,
Flush
one of
panel,
those.
half light,
Yeah.
quarter light, bifold, panel door, door with transom.
Elevator. What are you on about?
What's the minimum clear opening of a door?
Sorry.
Minimum clearance of a door.
2.2 meters.
One metre. One metre.
Four 485, wasn't it?
410. If you read that question, what's the minimum clearance of the door? It depends on
Where it is.
what purpose the door is, doesn't it? But if you're thinking about low-rise commercial, wheelchair access and that,
It's going to be 900 plus, won't it?
yeah, 900. Doors 920 plus 3 mil each side, 926. But your door stops, take that off, it comes back down about 900. So the opening is 900. It's the same with an 820. 800 is your minimum opening for access. Or you've got to have at least one access door from a house. That's the minimum of 800 opening, 820. What height should door handles be placed?
900, 1100.
Between 900 and 1100, yeah.
About the middle.
hip high. Eric's reach high.
Will it be taller? Shorter? Average height? Me? Or you?
We got what's the life is. They're going to be mowing public building, disabled.
Yeah.
Where's that information in? About door handles?
In the door,
You look at the
AS
Australian
doors.
standards.
Australian standards for doors.
Australian standards?
Yeah. Which was AS 20.
26.
The 2689 was it?
What was that one?
AS
AS 1428.4, 7.2, page 19.
What's his one?
what?
Designed for access and mobility. AS 1428.
Sorry, what was that one?
That was, he's just asking where to find that information regarding openings and stuff. It's AS 1428.4, designed for access and mobility.
Doors. That's the, That's the door sits. And that's for the doors. This for the
What
door
section
handles.
of the national construction relates to service and equipment?
That's for the doors. Just trying to stand up for the doors. That's fine.
Service and equipment.
Next one. Section
Section E.
Volume 1, the NCC. Section A. Question says, what section of the National Construction Code relates to services and equipment? 53-ish?
54.
54?
Just go one up.
Oh, okay, I'm not.
Yeah, stay one up.
Ish.
Alright.
Detail the objectives of the National Construction Code entitled Emergency Lighting Exit Signs. Or if you want the
Part A4. So you just have to write the objective.
Emergency lighting.
Having three.
Detail the objective. Four. Adequate notification.
Next one. 56.
Yep.
Clear the objectives of National Construction Code access and egress. Access and egress is section B. There's your objective. There's your objective.
Yeah, one.
Okay. The more you read it, the more easier it gets.
The easier it gets.
It does.
Imagine lighting.
No, just to read the NCC.
The more working out where to buy stuff.
Yeah.
The first week or so.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But the more you go back to it, and
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
you actually see things that you want to do.
Yeah.
It's just it gets repetitive.
Yeah.
I don't think you don't have the access to more related stuff.
You only need volume 2 because that's all. This is all commercial volume.
Yeah.
Lighting.
Is imagining lighting like type of building or platforms.
So part A42 is the requirement.
Okay. Is emergency lighting required for this type of building? Your client wants to build. If so, explain what is required. What type of building was it?
Type C.
Which?
Type C.
Type C. What class?
Soil.
We're doing the
No.
offices and
1,200 square metres, so it needs stuff.
Class 6, wasn't it?
or 6, wasn't it?
Yeah, that red, the reason was in there, 4 and 6.
Right. In every story of a class 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, where the story has a floor area of more than 300 square meters, I think it does. It needs lighting system in every passageway corridor to an exit. In any room having a floor area more than 100 square meters. In any room having a floor area more than 300 square meters. In every passageway. So basically, you're doing that.
Needs everything.
You're quoting all that. Copy and paste.
Yeah, a couple of documents this thick off that come out.
You know, the problem with copy and paste is that in Windows 10, it's a bummer to copy Windows and paste. Doesn't like it.
I've got it there to download. I've been
Oh,
against it.
it's all right. It's
Windows
not.
8 is bloody not.
Oh, that's terrible, that one.
So 10's not as bad as 8.
I don't know, I haven't used it, I haven't back on 7.
My in-laws both downloaded it and it crashed both their computers.
I've heard that before.
Just had to run on them with the reboot everything from scratch.
7's free anyway.
Yeah, it comes up free.
He said there's an update for it,
computers last 3
a couple of days later after an update.
Windows 7.
That's when they had the whole thing like
And you don't hear it. Are exit signs required for this building? If so, where?
Well, go to the exit sign section. E45.
Exit. Exit sign must be clearly visible to the persons approaching the exit and must be installed on above or adjacent to each door by direct egress. Here. Are the needed? Yes. Then you're quoting that. 58.
Correct.
57-ish.
58.
57 with a bullet. I'll hand this one to Scott. Other than general power outlets, name at least 3 other services your electrician may be required to install into this building.
Commercial building, emergency lighting, hot water unit, running
Telephone.
Internet.
Data.
Data.
Anybody do data?
Data.
I did it right through my head, but I don't bloody need it anymore.
It's got Wi-Fi.
Yeah. She even put a point behind the fridge.
how much your points?
Because she had this idea she was going to get an internet fridge.
Yeah, because the fridge automatically restocks itself with poles.
Yeah.
No, it rings Coles and orders all the stuff.
Like I said, she had an idea she was, but I didn't.
Send you which one that is.
Oh, you get it.
Just like a turtle or something.
Oh, so you.
Or maybe.
It's still depending on those selling hours.
Yeah.
So I've got another.
Pretty white. Give it your own personality in this guy, that's it. And you get
Yeah, we
upgrades.
glimpsed it and did it. Magic.
Put it in the voice box.
Did the other one come up the stretch? Is it, did it pass all
Just see
the.
if they-
It got it inspected. What we were worried about was fine. The only thing is, in the bathroom, he's got Sydney blue gum flooring, 150-year-old or something.
Oh.
Big white boards, and the building inspector says that needs to be covered with waterproof and impervious. So trying to get rid of that.
Oh, you're kidding.
I'm going to rip it up anyway and change the bathroom when I get it.
Yeah, yeah.
But seeing fun, because I said, well, I don't care. I'm not worried about that. If you can get away with it, get away with it.
Got to make some nice timber furniture, that flooring.
130, 150 €, he didn't tell me. But it's about 170 wide, something like that, really wide. So telephone, cable, security systems, internet, what else? Yeah. Hot water system. Yeah, lift. Mechanical services. Anything, think of three. Anything apart from GPOs.
Mechanical service, aircon.
Will this building require fire hydrant?
Yes.
Go to
Like
E1.
500 square metres it requires fire hydrants, I think.
E1.3. Apart from GPO, other.
Yeah, greater than 500 metres square requires a fire hydrant.
Yeah.
Just other stuff, so the telephone, internet, data, hot water, security, emergency lighting, apart from the GPO.
So yes, it's simply it will need a fire hydrant system. Yeah. And it's a yes.
Sprinkler. Sprinkler system.
If so, how many and where will they be located? Right. So they must serve only the story on which they are located, except that a store occupancy unit. So in a 2, 3 or 4 class apartment, there are a single fire hydrant located at the level of egress from that store occupancy unit. So that the upstairs one is that. Yeah. And the other one, not more than 2 stories, which is what this is.
Yeah.
Maybe a single size.
A Pringle?
Which likes a Pringles?
A single fire. Yeah, one of them.
So we only need one.
Located at the level of egress from that sole occupancy unit. Provided the fire hydrant can provide coverage to the whole of the sole occupancy unit.
So one inside the front door.
Yeah. Remember to give me the numbers, whatever it is. Close. Will this building require a sprinkler system?
No.
It's got to be I think over.
Not big enough.
It's not big enough.
1.5.
1.5.
Class 9.
It's not more than 25 metres in height or
Yeah.
floor area over
Right.
3,000 square metres.
That's right, yeah.
All classes more than 25 meters. Class 3, class 6. Class 6, a floor area of more than 3.5.
No.
Well, we haven't got that, have we?
Yeah, we're type C, which is under.
Right, we're on type C.
So
Yeah.
no.
Is that just stretching or you got a question?
Oh, sorry, stretching.
You realise you would have bought a house if this was
Yeah, that's. Name 4 types of heat.
Name 4 types of heating.
Yes.
Gas ducted.
Ducted, hydronic.
Slab cord down?
Hydronic. Oh, you
Hang
got
on.
electric coil.
That's electrical.
I think we actually have to put some portable fire extinguishers in this building too.
I missed part of the question.
Yeah, fire extinguishers.
Sorry.
So I think you actually have to have them in conjunction with the fire hydrant.
Yeah.
Portable fire extinguishers. 1.6.
All fire extinguishers, yeah. Need 1.6.
So it's only.
Sprinklers and portable.
So only fire extinguishers for upstairs.
So provided listed for class 2 or 3 for the building.
Hang on, where internal floor fire not installed
So it's upstairs.
to serve any fire.
Yeah.
Greater
More
than
than greater than
500. So
500.
if upstairs is bigger than 500 square metres, they've got.
Well, it's got a total area of what, 1,200, haven't we? 1,200 square metres total area. So say upstairs.
12, car park.
I say, alright, so 4,812, alright. So it's not more than 500. So it doesn't,
So we don't need fire extinguishers.
doesn't need fire extinguishers.
Well, you just quote that, where internal fire hydrants would be required if the floor area is greater than 500.
Let the customer look after it.
Presuming this is each level is 400, including the car park.
So the car park's included in that total area. Okay,
I reckon.
alright.
Well, you're covering your bases.
Okay.
If it's over 500, yes. If it's under 500, no.
It's actually fire extinguisher salesmen coming door to door these days, trying to throw that in your face to try and get you to buy them.
Yeah.
Sure. You want stuck at heat in your residence? Yeah, right. Geothermal.
You heard of a heat pump system?
Yeah.
No. Using the heat that's stored in the ground to supplement your heating system. You know how a solar system works on your for your hot water, where you have your solar panels on the roof, water comes in, goes through the solar panels, preheats the water, then it goes to your hot water service. So depending on the temperature of the water coming through, it might not even have to increase the temperature of the water.
Oil on the ground.
Yeah. So this is an American one, but what you are. Now, in the ground, you go to a certain depth, and the ground stores heat. Right? So what you do is you pass water through the ground, and under pressure, or when it hits the transfer unit, or whatever it's called, it's under pressure, and it's like a gas in your fridge in reverse. When you push the gas through your condenser in your fridge under pressure, the gas becomes cold. This is a similar sort of principle, but in reverse, so that when it's pushed through, the friction makes it heat up. So it's supplementing the heat, you're not using the heat.
Yeah.
It's a much cheaper way of supplying heat to your house. Downside is it's expensive to install. Once it's installed, it's basically next to nothing to run. Much better heat. Alright?
That's a geothermal. Is that what they call that?
No, it's a heat pump
Maybe it's a
system.
different
You're
voltage.
using the ground to supplement the heat.
Oh,
You can do it two ways. It's about 2 meters deep, I think it is, and it can run that way. If you haven't got enough room to run it that way, you can just go straight up and down, and you drop your pipe straight up and down. It explains it in here if I've got the right one. If you go to some of the European countries, Norwegian or wherever it is, Iceland, where they have the thermal plates, or
That's what I do.
yeah, they have run the pipes down, and it's
Boiling.
yeah, they're heating it for nothing.
What New Zealand's the same.
Yeah. So hopefully it's the right one. I think it's the wrong one.
Engineered systems reduce standard installation costs by up to 30%, or save even more with a do-it-yourself kit. Standard system includes our Climate Master heat pump, copper manifolds, including Grundfos pumps and standard brass mechanical components, ASTM certified plastic polymer loop pipe pre-charged with environmentally safe antifreeze. Everything is color-coded and labeled for easy installation. Installation is accomplished in 4 4 easy steps. Installation of loops, manifold, plumbing, and electrical. The first step is the excavation of loop fields. The horizontal loop is the most common and needs around 250 feet of continuous trench as shown in this example. House size and BTU requirements will determine how many loops are needed. Available land will determine the type of loop required. We have included some common dimensions for this example. The loop is placed in the excavated ditch. This example demonstrates how a 4-pipe and 6-pipe horizontal loop will be placed in the excavated ditch. A slinky loop is used when land space is restricted. In this example, we used 100 lineal foot trenches to provide enough length for the system to be energy efficient. A vertical loop is used when the required space for horizontal trenches cannot be achieved. Approximately 6-inch holes are drilled and loops are installed and grouted. Inside the house, we will connect the loops to the manifold. First, cut off any slack on each loop end. Each loop has a quick connect fitting that inserts into the manifold port. Then a fresh water source is connected to the manifold. This will be used to fill the loops later. The ductwork, manifold, and optional water heater are now connected to the heat pump through easily identified connections. Next, connect the thermostat to the color-coded thermostat wire provided. Both the color-coded thermostat wire and control wire from the manifold are plugged into the heat pump. To finish, fresh water is added. By using the port valve, each loop can be isolated and purged independently, thus eliminating the need for a flush cart. Antifreeze will mix throughout the loop field, while air is purged from the system. Your system is now up and running, and you will begin to realize some energy savings. The system can be installed by a TerraSource certified installer, or we can provide everything you need except for the digging and ductwork for a do-it-yourself install. Call.
How does a heat pump work? All air conditioning systems, including heat pumps, rely on the refrigerant's pressure-temperature relationship. When a refrigerant evaporates or boils, it absorbs heat at a very high rate, as is the case with all liquefied gases. Since refrigerant has a lower boiling point than most liquids, we can easily manipulate it so that the only heat source needed is room temperature air. We can control this boiling point by altering the pressure placed upon the liquid. Now, let's take a look at the operation of a common split-system air source heat pump. In the summer, the compressor, the heart of the heat pump, receives cool, low-pressure refrigerant vapor. It then pumps this vapor into the high-pressure side of the system. This hot, high-pressure gas now travels through a routing valve known as the reversing valve to the outside coil, which functions as the condenser. In the condenser, the heat is removed from the refrigerant by the outdoor fan, causing the refrigerant to condense into a liquid. The liquid refrigerant now bypasses the first expansion valve by means of a one-direction valve known as a check valve. The refrigerant, now cooler but still under high pressure, travels along the liquid line to the indoor unit, where it is forced through the second expansion valve. This valve partially restricts the flow of refrigerant, creating the needed decrease in pressure, which allows the refrigerant to start evaporating. As the refrigerant evaporates, it absorbs heat from the passing air. In addition, the cold evaporator collects moisture, which provides dehumidification for the home. The refrigerant then travels back to the compressor, where the process is repeated over and over again. During the winter mode, the reversing valve reroutes the refrigerant path, thereby making the outside coil function as the evaporator and the indoor coil as the condenser. The heat is absorbed from the outside air by the evaporator, then brought inside and released by the condenser to heat the home's air. Also notice the outdoor expansion valve is now active as the indoor expansion valve is bypassed. This is a very efficient and cost-effective method for heating the home. There is one inherent problem, however. In order for the evaporator, now outside, to absorb heat, it must operate at temperatures lower than the outside air. This very low operating temperature allows ice or frost to accumulate on the outside of the evaporator. The remedy, the defrost cycle. As the defrost cycle is initiated, the reversing valve switches the refrigerant path back to that of the summer mode. This allows indoor heat to be transferred from the inside airstream to the outside coil, thereby melting the accumulated frost. To speed this process up, outdoor fan operation is terminated throughout the defrost cycle. Also notice that the indoor airstream, now being robbed of its heat, becomes very cold, which is not a desirable condition during winter. To compensate for this condition, the auxiliary heat is activated for the duration of the defrost cycle. After a few minutes, the outdoor coil is frost-free and the defrost cycle is terminated. And that's how a heat pump works.
There is actually a hot water service that works off a heat pump system. So it's just a unit that sits outside, working off that system, and it uses the heat that's in the atmosphere because of the pressures, to create the heat to heat the water. Right? Now, about 10, 12 years ago, when they started the STAR system, there was actually a government grant for these hot water services, which have been around for 100 plus years apparently, the theory of it. And there was 2 units. One was a domestic and one was commercial. You could get a government grant rebate system for the domestic one. Unfortunately, the domestic one wasn't quite big enough to do a full house. But if you could fiddle it and get the commercial one, you were getting hot water for next to nothing. I think it's since been knocked on the head. I don't know why or whatever, but there were few and far between. It was just when I was winding up my business, and I thought I want to try one of them to see how well, but it didn't happen. So there's different ways of heating water. You know, we're pretty lazy in Australia because gas is so freely available. Where you get in the other countries, Europe, not where gas is not as freely available, it's got to come from Russia or wherever. They try and use anything and everything to supplement the heat. So it's worth looking into it. Okay? One of these days I'll remember to sit down and find the other specifies again. If you Google it, YouTube, it's all in there. So your client wants ducted heating in his residence. Research this product and recommend where this unit will be located and how it will be installed. He wants ducted heating.
It's got them coming through the ceiling.
Right.
If it's got a concrete floor.
He's in trouble. Can you put ducted heating through a concrete floor?
Yeah.
A yes and a no.
You can put the ducts in the concrete.
Nice yard.
Yeah, put it through the ceiling.
You can't?
No.
In the old days they did.
Ah.
Oh, so it's changed now. Okay.
Especially on a suspended one because you
I
wait
know.
down the slab.
Yeah, there's not enough. Yeah, there's not enough slab. But on a ground slab, they used to put them in the
Yeah,
in the
because you
ground.
used to run underneath. But
Yeah.
what happens when the
I know.
ductwork deteriorates?
I know. Could always do a false floor or something.
Is your building?
No, ceiling doesn't work.
With the lighter.
It doesn't work in the ceiling.
Works his house, perfect.
Heat rises.
house up in 2 minutes.
Heat
Ah,
rises.
there's the garage.
I know. We used to have it. I know.
I was scratching my head when I first saw it, when we turned it on, it's like, wow, it's works.
And that's the dwelling. He wants the ducted heating to his residence? Right, so that's this part here. Forget about that part. How are we going to put ducted heating to that house, that dwelling?
Between the floors, yeah.
You're telling me.
In this area.
You said you can't put it in concrete.
Yeah, but is that a slab or is that a? Could be positive. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that would be. Yeah.
Could always put the ductwork from the outside and just run it into the office, into the dwelling.
Alright. Think about it first. How much information? All it said is he wants ducted heating in his dwelling.
It's an open-ended question, isn't
Well,
it?
then it was selling ceiling fans.
Well, it has to be in the floor, doesn't it? It's more efficient in the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heating, ducted heating is more efficient, well, any heating source is more efficient in the floor. But if you cannot get it in the floor, where do you put it?
In the ceiling.
Ceiling.
Can we just say, oh, instead of making that a spend slab, make it fuzzies and then run it as well? Like that.
You're building it.
Right? So you got part of the problem done. Where are you going to put the unit?
On the ceiling. On the roof.
Inside
In the plant room.
On the roof. On the roof? Yeah. Put it in the orifice. You could put it in the orifice.
Down the garage.
Could be a plant room.
Yeah.
Plant room and garage.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Dad, say a word about orifices.
I didn't think I was on it. Alright, if you use posies, yeah, you're going to have your ducts coming out there. That's good. You just need to have deep enough posies to get away with it. So what's on depth? You have your posies.
400, 500.
300, 400,
450 at least, minimum.
We usually use the web ones.
Yeah,
which
posies.
are like, it's like 4, 5 easy.
I've got a 2-story, and I could have got away with a lesser one, but I went to a 400 deep posi because I wanted my ductwork running through. Ductwork, how does the ductwork work? Yeah, but so coming from the unit, you get one pipe comes from the unit, a big mother,
In a return pipe, yeah. big
and
pipe.
then as it junctions off, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Right. We'll just say it was there. So it runs down, you box out the wall, and you run down, and you run it into there. So it's got to be big enough to take this duct. Now, you're going to have to start junctioning off. How big is this thing going to go? Yeah. So, would you not try and get it more central? Yeah. So when you come down, you can go that way, and then you start splitting off. You want to try and get it central, yeah? Otherwise, you're getting all your heat coming out the first few ducts, and by the time you get to the other end, you're getting nothing. First thing. What else do you need for ducted heating?
Return line.
A return line.
Gas.
Where do you put the return? No. Where's the best location for the return air?
At floor level. At floor level.
No.
It's somewhere where it breaks.
Where you-
Or
where
it's
is it?
on it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
That's what-
yeah, you're right.
Upstairs.
I'm thinking of the thermostat.
The thermostat's got to be in the middle of that.
The thermostat goes hard. 2/3 of the wall.
Thermostat's 1500. Right? That's the optimum height. That's the air you're reading at that height. But yeah, you put your return air down the bottom, not in a cupboard.
No, but like you put the box in a cupboard.
That's well, that
and
one.
then it
You said that.
sticks out in the whole
You didn't
way.
say that. You said in a cupboard.
What's that?
You
Sometimes
said
you
in a cupboard.
put it on the floor.
Yeah, the
Put it like
Put
a
the
window.
pipe work in the cupboard, you return it.
If
Yeah.
you've got your return area on the floor, you have all your
Alright,
coming out the
where?
side. It will work its way down.
In relation to the building, where do you want your return at?
Central.
You can put it in a central, like in a part of like a whole line or something like that.
Just a random
So
color.
it's not about putting.
Yeah. Where do you put your thermostat?
Above the return air.
Above the return air.
Yeah.
So if we put our return air central next to a heating duct, isn't it going to
No.
get a false reading?
You can't be near a duct.
That's right. So you want it in really coldest area of the house, so that the coldest area of the house is at least going to be the temperature. What we're thinking about it, right? So you got to think about where you're putting your return air.
They're also quite noisy return airs.
So the return air should or should not be near the return.
Your return air should not be near a duct. It should be away from a duct. So
Yeah.
it's not drawing hot air
Yeah.
straight through.
Your
Because
thermostat.
Your thermostat wants to be above your return air.
But wouldn't they give it a colder reading than what it?
That's the idea.
You know, that's the idea. You're getting the coldest reading to heat that, the coldest part of your house. You can regulate your ducts to minimise the amount of air that comes through. So you turn your hottest air down, so you only get a little bit coming out. You're opening up your coolest ones to get more out, to balance everything. All the things you've got to think about, right? So it wants to be central. If you're going to put it in the floor, you need to box out and get a ductwork down into that floor so you can spread it out using posies. If it's a suspended slab, you can't do that. Where's the ductwork going to go? Ceiling. Right.
False ceiling.
What do you need? Yeah, you're going to have to do a suspended ceiling. One of these things. So that you've got room to run your ductwork up above.
Aren't we having a truss roof on it?
You make the rules up as you go.
You should do a truss.
Just put 2 cassettes in.
Yes. It's a flat roof.
Just put 2 cassettes in, that'll work. That's enough.
You could also run it, if you had
You
a
seen those?
suspended slab on the bottom, you suspend that.
They're a metre by a metre square.
And then have the ridge standing up.
4 ducts. One on each end.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What are they called?
Your weak
Cassettes.
You have
Cassettes.
suspended floor.
Suspended floor.
In a gutter.
Bring the wall up, fall on it.
That means I'm hanging on the ceiling if it's suspended.
Oh no, but this is like, it's gonna close, yeah, close it off.
That'd be a massive false wall.
A huge cover.
Now, you can put the unit on the top, yeah, and have a plant room on the top, or you can form an area in that floor and have the plant room boxed out inside. Right? 'Cause I've had people in the past, yeah, let's just do the ductwork on the roof. I've seen you can't do it. You've got all these penetrations going through the roof over a period of time. It's going to leak because you're getting movement in the roof. You're relying on silicone. Not good practice. So to me, the minimum amount of penetrations going through there. It's a plant room, yeah. If you've got to run through there, you make the rules, right? But explain it. You have to do it. Explain it. What you're proposing.
You do that, Eric. You have to give like access up to the roof.
Yeah, you'd have to get a ladder. It's the same as the duct heating units in the roof space. You have to have a platform from the access point. I don't call it a manhole anymore. First of all, you have to have access to the unit and then a platform around that unit or enough room for the service guy to get access to the heating unit. If they haven't got that, they'll take one look and say, I'll come back when you've got a platform for me. It's not safe.
Does that work with residential?
That's what I'm on about.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm on about. The amount I see where they don't have that platform to the unit, but they've got the area around it. I see it all the time. I got one builder, he had the manhole in the garage, and it was a bugger of a thing to get through because of the saddle trusses and everything, and I wasn't even going to get in there because it was so awkward. And I said, where's your heating unit? He says, oh, it should be in there. And I'm looking, I go, well, it's not there, I can't see it. Has it been nicked? Oh, no. And then I had to climb in the roof, and it's all the way down the other end of the flaming house. If you put a manhole in the laundry, it would have been right next to it. He says, oh, but that's where we put it on this house. Well, as far as I know, mate, you need a service path from here to that unit. Now, which way are you going to do? The pathway, or are you just going to put a second bloody manhole in?
No.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't see it was definite. I just said, well, you need to check it out. I'm pretty sure you need that access to that.
That's not easy.
No.
64.
Woman hole.
Toilet.
Access.
Can't
Yeah,
access it
can't call it a
myself.
woman hole.
Once a month.
Definitely.
Houses on the ground floor will have a toilet inside.
The man told me one. Old woman was put into a retirement home, palliative care, and they said to the daughter, just leave her for 4 weeks to get stimulated, so she gets used to the place and gets it. So 4 weeks later, the daughter's gone in there to pay her mum a visit, and she's sitting there, and the nurse is just behind her, and the old woman sort of leaning to one side, and the nurse just helped her to stir upright. A couple of minutes later, she'll start leaning to the other side. The nurses. And the daughter said to the mother, geez, mum, the nurses look after you here, don't they? She says, yeah, they do, they just won't let me fart. And finally, the orifice on the ground floor will have a toilet in the centre of the building. Explain how noxious smells and gases will be removed from the building. Geez, that was a good reading, wasn't it?
Extract the fans.
Big pipe.
No, extract the fan system. Can't put,
You need a fan in there.
can't put a steam.
It's what's called landlocked,
Yeah.
right? So there's no windows, so you can't get ventilation. So any landlocked toilet, you get it in residential as well. What happens when you switch the light on? The fan comes on at the same time. Yeah, you can't have a separate switch for the fan.
We've done it for buildings before, we put a time delay switch.
Yeah.
On, so even when you turn the light off, that fan
Fan will go for a certain amount of time
and then
to change the amount of air. What you got to be careful of is ventilation getting in there, because this fan is taking air out. You need to pull air in, and the gap underneath the door might not be big enough, so you might have to put a grill in the bottom of the door. With a low-rise commercial, you will have to put a grill in the bottom of the door, the aluminium grills or whatever, to allow that airflow. It's like a VAP system. Who's got an VAP system here?
I got it.
Dan.
Have you ever put the system on and left all the doors and windows shut?
No.
And see what happens?
No, what happens?
You cannot open the door.
You get the positive negative
Yeah.
pressure.
Because what
can't
happens is
open it.
you're pushing that much air in, you've got these big things, you're pushing air in, nothing can get out.
Yeah.
So this door, if we had system there, the pressure would be pushing on that, and it is like it's a locked door.
It's turbo. Yeah, you put a bit of tissue paper under the door,
Yeah.
and it'll stuck it all the way like 10 meters easily,
Yeah.
Oh shit.
like a
Actually
bullet.
did one house and it was stinking hot like this here. It wasn't connected, so I just ran the air system, just the fan. And I went away to do something, come back and I'm going,
Yeah.
I actually got shouldering the door like that to get in. All I need to do is go to the fuse board, turn up the power, give it a minute or two to balance, and then actually get in. But there's that much pressure builds up that you have to have with airflow. Alright?
Yeah.
Okay. Enough for tonight? Anybody got any questions they need help with on the assignment? And we'll finish the other one off tomorrow night. It's nice and easy, that one.